Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today, we'll be taking a ride on the Russell, so let me tell you more about it. Whee! Wrong Way. Alright, but before we get into the video, there is a big disclaimer, because there was kind of a misunderstanding between me and the people that work at BearEbike. So the e-bike you're seeing in this video is not made by BearEbike, it's made one of the workers there on components that he personally chose to use on this e-bike that he has up for sale. BearEbike told me that this is not a BearEbike, this is a bike on their frame, which by the way you can also purchase and ship all over the world. And as it also turns out, they have different frame sizes, and they didn't tell me or ask me about it, and it turned out this bike is too big for me. It's a XL size, while they also have a L size, so I don't really know why they chose to give me this bike for testing. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of specs, because also I found out about them later. It's a QS205 5T winding motor with 3 kilowatts of nominal power and 10 kilowatts of peak power. The battery is a 20S15P unit with LG MJ1 cells, totaling around 3,700 watt-hours of capacity. We have 100 battery amps and 120 phase amps, and the BMS is rated at 150 amps. As far as I've been told, they also limited the performance of the bike a bit to have more range, but this would probably explain the puny performance I had with this e-bike. When it comes to the suspension, in the front we use also a fork that is not available on BearEbike's site, which is the RST Killer, at least not on the English side, because I found them on the Polish side still. Anyways, these forks that are on this bike are shorter than the ones that BearEbike uses, giving it a bit of a weird geometry. For me, in this e-bike, I was feeling like I was tipping over the front all the time. Now that's something that, you know, people might like riding. I definitely didn't like it, and you'll see it later in the video. But the point is that the geometry with this Killer is just so much, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable for me. Not like enduro, but I don't know, tipping in the front. And with the addition of this big frame and my height, just wasn't working at all. In the back we have a DNM shock, which probably was the reason why the rear wheel was just bouncing up and down constantly. So I don't know if I can demonstrate it now with the vibrations, but I'll try to just say stuff so I feel like if there is a bigger imperfection on the road, then the rear tire starts to oscillate a lot more. So if it's perfectly even, I don't feel it that much, but if something happens then and if I'm going faster, they almost like tend to disappear, so it's way smoother than don't worry, it's very empty here. Not this track. That's a rear damper they're like not even using anymore in their lineup. So yeah, what's the point of this video? Well, I don't really know. It's me on a too big bike, just riding a bit in the city and sharing my opinion. So I hope you can learn something from that and still enjoy this content. So let's get into it. Oh, the tires are not aligned. As you can see, now the weather is not the best in Poland. Just like around 1 degree Celsius. It just stopped snowing. There's a discount code for this particular bike or any e-bikes at BearEbike, sadly, so I can't offer you that. They have a website with all of their stuff, all of the specs. This will be more like a, I guess, first impressions ride through the city to see how it's like to ride a bike again, because I've just gotten used to riding monowheels so much. I kind of wanted to see again how it is to ride on two wheels. Dang, I feel like the tires are not well centered here. I feel a lot of vibration. Or maybe it's just a heavy motor in the back bouncing up and down. QS205. Ooh.
Kind of enjoying the fact that when it comes to bikes on the road and even like motorcycles, but especially bikes, they're sort of more regarded as legal vehicles, so I don't feel so stressed out when riding on road. Can't also pedal at the speed. Pedaling is only like useful probably up to like 10-15 kilometers an hour. It definitely has some oomph to it. Excuse me. Alright. And most of all those things are destined, I believe at least, for off-road use. So I'm also going to do some off-roading nearby in the woods to see how it behaves off-road. But damn, I'm just not used to handlebars so much, and the position is so leaning forward. It's not the most comfortable experience for me. So for me, the most important thing in a vehicle is that it's, you know, practical, it's somewhat small, not that expensive, and high range. I hope you can still hear me through that rain, by the way, for the wind. And getting this thing out from my home is just terrifying. Like, I wouldn't get this vehicle unless you're really like an off-road enthusiast, because it's just so hard to put in your apartment. Now, this also depends on your apartment, of course. Yeah, for me it was just such a struggle. This is like, you should, if you even consider buying such a vehicle, I would like get a shed, or I don't know, just some sort of storage area, not in your apartment, because this is just like painful to get up. And even if you have a bicycle parking lot in your apartment, I wouldn't leave it there either, because A, it's super expensive, and B, you can't charge it there because it doesn't have a removable battery. All right, so I'll ride a bit more and I'll talk to you later when I'm off-roading again. All right, dear subscribers, we've arrived to the location, the off-road location here in the woods. If you notice that the time of day changed a bit in the meantime, yeah, you're correct. Actually, my GoPro ran out of the battery, I had to grab a power bank, and now I'm back in the location where we left at. Meanwhile, I have 76 volts when standstill, which is, I don't know, around like 60 or 70%, just after 35 kilometers. So I'm not really sure if the stated range of minimum of 200 kilometers is like the case. I think it's more like minimum would be around like 50 or 60, like that's my just guess. And I wasn't riding this thing hard at all. Obviously it's very cold now, so this might be an effect too. So yeah, mud guards do work. Like, I thought it would be worse. I'm not as dirty as I thought. The front mud guard definitely could use some improvement. Like, you can see, like, this is sort of aiming to be like a silent motocross bike, or anything between like a e-bike and a motocross bike. And like, you just do proper mudguards, I think, like as in motocross motorcycles, right? Oh yeah, and one other thing I really don't like is that here this pedal goes really close to this rear swing arm, like it's like 5 millimeter or something, and therefore you've hit with your foot against the rear swing arm, which is very annoying. So you have to actually ride like this, sort of. It's just a bit awkward. Not a fan of that either. Some hub springs to make it cooler, 200 millimeter discs, hydraulic brakes. Also not a fan of the tire on street use, but obviously it won't be good for street use, it's for off-road. But let's see if it can redeem itself off-road. Oh yeah, turning radius is a bit better with those extended heads. But still, it's just like, if you're maneuvering through the city, I feel like that's not enough. Definitely would like more of a bikey construction. I think that again, my foot isn't. I think that has improved and is very good in this bike though, is the stability. Like, I know with the prior BearEbikes or other e-bikes I was testing, they tend to like wheelie when you go full throttle. This thing is just like super stable. And obviously now that I'm riding in the woods, it feels pretty great. Like, still not a fan of the position that I'm in. I would rather be much lower with my seat. But definitely I feel less of the vibration. As you can see, 75 volts when I'm pushing it hard. It shows me half battery. So I will have to be like partially a bit conservative because I want to get back home too. I'm just very curious if it has like enough power to go up hills where I was going with the V11 recently. Przepraszam. This was a path for pedestrians apparently. I think I'm not really like making anything bad when I'm riding slow here. Yeah, this thing feels really planted. I like the new geometry here. I have a hill here that I usually go on with my UCs. So I'm curious if I can do it. That's the one here. Around 25 to 30 degrees steep. Not the optimal conditions, but I think with the rear tire should be possible. Anyways, I think we're in the hardest mode. Let's go up. Barely. But it did make its way up. That's cool. I felt very nice and planted. Had no stress, but I feel like at some point it didn't have like a huge amount of reserve left. And for climbing, the geometry was nice, but for going down, it's kind of terrifying. Like I can definitely see like the place in the market for that, like for people that just like motocross experiences and they want like two wheels and the like bigger stability of having two wheels and like proper suspension. Let's go here again. Let's see if we can do it. Oh. Whoa. Barely. Just barely enough power. Whoa. No. It can't go up. That's because of power. That's kind of sad. Let's bring it up a bit. Let's see if it can go from here. No. Alright. So this is a hill when I went up with the V11, like a unicycle for €2,000. Maybe you can at least do the ending here. I have it on full power, don't I? I think I have it on full. Let's go. Wait, I changed the mode. Let's try again. I have to pedal. Okay, now it goes. Like, this is not a steep hill. Then I'll go somewhere else. I just like hill climbing a lot. Like, that's also not something that everyone wants to do. See those guys really just like usually blasting it at higher speeds. Not a fan of that. But hey, that's my sort of testing for those vehicles. Feels very stable on the snow though, which I like. Oh. Alright, attempt number 3. Bit more speed. No. Ooh. Oh, oh. Like there's also a lot of sand, so that might be also the reason why. Here we have. Oh, and see, here I have not enough turning radius to go. Need to stop. But I'm sure that like there's loads of people that like can ride those things, and maybe I'm just riding it wrong. Like that's also possible. That's a little fun section here. Whoa. There we have like a nice incline. Let's see if we can do that. Ooh, let's go. Oh, blocking the front tire. Let's go up here. See if that's enough power. Yeah, here it's enough. Nice. Maybe if I go here on the side would be better. Maybe I just like dug it up too much. Want to be fair in those reviews, so let's see here. No, it definitely has not enough power. Let's go down. With the right amount of speed, I guess you can climb anything. Just like, I guess, the low-end torque, I just don't feel it that much in this bike. Smaller up. Whee! For climbing, the angle is like very nice of this bike. Just for like going down, it's terrifying. Oh, I never saw this section. It's so fun. Nice. I almost only want to go uphill with this thing because then it feels the most comfy. Where are we going now? I think straight. Oh, not enough angle. Come on. Go up. It stopped. Come on, go. It's too much sand here. Looks very sandy. Yeah, I think it might be just a bit too sandy for it. And let me down. Yeah, the suspension seems to work very well in those off-road scenarios. Woo! I hate that I'm just kicking it constantly with the rear swing arm. I can't stand like properly on this e-bike. Oh, there's a nice incline. Let's see if we can do that. I think we can go down here. Looks like fun. Alright, show me what you got. You got it! Barely, but got it. Oh, okay. I guess other features here include the display here, which shows you the battery. I don't know why it shows me still full battery, why it's like not full whatsoever. We have the speedo here, temperature of the, I don't know if it's surrounding or controller. That's the odometer, trip odometer. We have a light switch for the light in the front and the reverse gear. I'm a fan of that. Quick charge port here, charge port here on the side. I guess when it comes to charging speeds, it doesn't work anymore? Okay. So definitely the off-roading feels a lot better than the road experience, as expected. In terms of performance, I guess I'm not like I'm not blown away by the torque. I think that's like what's most important off-road, the torque. It's top speed I didn't even check, but I think it's around like 60-70 kilometers an hour, maybe 80. So I guess that's usable, but for off-road riding I feel that you don't need much more than like 50 or 60 kilometers an hour, especially like in places where there can be like animals or people or whatever. Oh, I didn't also show you, it has a remote, it has an alarm built in, which is also pretty cool. So that's, I guess, another added bonus. So I'll keep on riding a bit, maybe I'll show you some clips later. But if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. Woo! I see you in the next video. See you soon. Ow. Oh yeah, another thing you need to consider is that every once in a while you'll need to change the discs on this thing, and because those are bicycle rotors, so yeah, I think that all in all, in general, this category of e-bike should already have like motorcycle grade suspension and motorcycle grade brakes. Kind of funny. whoa, sort of like a Inuit dance, like Inuit music. I don't know, or like some sort of world music.